I did something. So, fucking internet, man. The internet hates me. We'll see if my Wi-Fi is on. Yeah, it is on. Let's see what my connection is. I've only got one bar of coverage down here right now. I have coverage, like really good coverage at my house, even down here. But on rainy days sometimes or something, I don't know. It's good to see you, Hopeton. Who's watching here? Hopeton, Riversong, Scott George. Freaking coverage is just abysmal. It's so good to see you here, Hopeton. Thanks for joining me down here. I just did a Makers Movement video. And after I made the video, I was like, man, I've got this one board I owe for a tattoo I got, a really good guy. I really need to, I had made the board and I was doing great, but I was falling apart because of needing to make a change in the business. So I made him this board, and it's a one-for-one. It's a copy that he wanted made. Here, let me turn off a couple fans. I had to let the that's interesting. I had to let the dust settle here. I just finished making a bunch of chips. I still got a few fans on. Let me turn a little more noise down. Let's do these two over here. Got a lot of fans. It's a busy setup. A lot of fans in it. Well, hi. So I felt real bad about this. I got the tattoo a long time ago. Good guy, good friend, a good brother, good skateboarding man. Just a good dude. I'm not going to put him on blast or anything. He didn't do anything wrong. I'm the guy who did something wrong. I'm the guy who owes a board to a guy. And when I finally figured out that I needed to send my work over to Sam Cooke, and we worked out a great deal where my presses went to live there, and the orders that were outstanding he took in the deal, and I helped him to get them shipped to the right people. I hope they all came out great. But I had to move into something else, and it is I want to work for all the makers. I do work for Sam Cooke Life Skateboards, but my purpose is to work for all the makers out there and to raise the profile of this amazing skateboard wood. But I kept 2 of my back orders. And this one, I made this board, and it's nice. But I made it on my long flat concave. And there was a deck here. He gave me a deck that he wanted done that has this profile on it, and it has a certain shape to it. I don't like to show. I don't know if there's any issues out there, whatever. But has basically, this is the top-down view of it. It's 31.5 inches long with a 15.25 inch wheelbase, a 6-inch nose, and a 6 and 3/8 inch tail, just yucky tail on it. So that 31.25 inch board, I went and I took another stab at it here. Took another stab at it with some of my old pressings that had been sitting in there, and I made a pretty good deck. Good, reasonable facsimile, good dimensions. I like the kick in the tail, but I made the first try I made on the flat concave. The long board concave, which makes a nice flat board. If you're cutting standard lengths, Scott, good to see you. If you're cutting standard lengths, and if I'm cutting standard lengths and I use my longboard concave, you get a flatter deck. And after I made it, I remembered that this dear man had said, I want that fickle concave. And I know that he meant my standard concave with the vectored kicks and the kick vectoring up from the truck bed all the way through to about this far from the end of the tail. Nice curved kick. You can only make these in small batches because they distort on deep stacking. You just can't get as many. That's what they say. I mean, I've stacked them 4 deep and gotten good boards. I stack them 3 deep. But anyway, so I made a second one. And sure enough, what do you know, after I finished it, look, what a bummer. Look at that. It's skatable, but it's not skatable enough to honor the beautiful tattoo that this man gave me. and so long ago. I wonder if he's despaired of ever getting it. So first try, too flat. Second try, just right, except it turns out it had an 1/8 inch warp in it, which is, again, that's not cool, dude. Not cool. 1/8 inch warp is not cool. So I dug around. These are old pressings. So time is not kind to 7-ply maple laminate. You're going to get warpings. And so I dug around and I got this one. Still got a little warp to it, but I mean, that's ugly. I might not go with it, but this is my third try. And bellying this up with, I've got good hips on it. I don't have a terrible top on this board. This thing is pretty good. It's not that bad. I think it's within what might be, but at this point I've been so late with all this. So I've got a stack of 3 here on an old order, and I'm just happy to be working on them, making some dust, and that was what I wanted to share with you guys. A moment of joy, a moment of happiness, a moment of challenge, a little bit of disappointment on some things being warped and like that, accepting imperfection, wabi-sabi, moving forward. You know, here we are. So thanks for joining me down in the workshop. I appreciate you guys. Johnny Manick, thanks for hanging out. Michael Tetreault, good to see you. Michel Tetreault, Hopton Mitchell, and I know we got Dane Self in here and Scott George. Thanks for joining me, my dudes. Appreciate you. And I will catch you guys on the flipper. There'll be more. I'll be around. I'm doing it.